Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Paranormal Portal. It is Wednesday, of course. And as with all Wednesdays, it's 2 full hours of the Paranormal Portal. So you got that going for you. Coming to you and going for you. And hope you guys appreciate that. I know I do. And I appreciate all you guys that are coming in the door already, in the door, actually. So many of you. Just warms my heart and fills me with good feelings. But that maybe sounded absolutely stupid, didn't it?
Like that one time in gym class?
It was band camp, but
No, that was a different one.
I don't know what happened in gym class.
Garth.
Like
that time in gym class, we were climbing up the rope.
Oh, yeah. Wayne and Garth?
Yeah, there you go. See, maybe I'm from a different species. I don't know.
Well, there's always that debate.
That's true.
We don't have enough time in the show to discuss that one, though. So, and of course, you're not hearing from the voices in my head. That's actually my good friend and co-host on our Wednesday night extravaganza into the Paranormal Portal, Mr. Don Longbeard. How you doing, Don?
Busy.
You are busy
Yes.
Because, folks, tonight, you may or may not have known this, but
Night.
we are going to be doing a T-shirt giveaway for our Discord community members, and we're going to do it live here on the show. So Don is actually in charge of compiling the list and doing the random generator, and we're gonna announce a winner, and that'll be at the end of the show. So make sure you stick around.
Everything's random around here.
This is the portal. Like we have a plan, because this is absolutely unrehearsed, folks. We don't know what the hell we're doing. At the best of days. Yeah, well, apparently you should be getting to work over there. What are you doing talking so much?
I'm working.
All right, so we're going to be getting to all of the regular stuff that we do here on the show. Of course, we're going to go into the news in just a moment and find out just what the hell's going on in the world around us. Not that we have any answers, but we're going to look into some paranormal news in just a couple minutes, and then we're going to hit the Discord community and do the question of the week. Special thanks to Chucky once again for keeping that flowing, and then we're going to head into... we got a lot of Cryptid Corner to get through as well, but I got one other article that I haven't pre-read it, so it's going to be kind of news to all of us. Well, everything on the show is always news to me because I just pull headlines mostly. I never pre-read this stuff, so I don't always know what I'm giving you guys, but I'm hoping it's
Here's a big warm turd.
Yeah, no, I'm not giving you any steaming coilers or anything like that, as Tom Seawood said. Talking about getting eaten by a bear, you'll be a steaming coiler. Oh, that was a visual. That was a visual I didn't ever need.
And now you just gave it to everybody else.
Well, I love to share. This is a family, Don. And part of family is you're going to torment your peers, your siblings.
As it is.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't say it was healthy. There's nothing healthy about this family, but by God, we love each other. And we're a special kind of broken. And
And we like it that way.
we like it that way. That's right. If you're looking for normal, you might be on the wrong channel.
It's somewhere in the dictionary.
That's true. You might find it there, but you won't find it here. Because we are the Paranormal Portal, by God. So, I guess, let's see. Is there any? Oh, yeah. There's going to be no live shows.
Oh, yeah,
Friday and Saturday night, folks. There probably will be streams. And I say that because it depends on a lot of factors that I can't know ahead of time. One, do I have any data left on my phone plan? That's a big one. But Don, you got data. So
I got data. Yeah, we can figure it out.
So the other thing that it depends on is there reception in the areas we're going to be going to. And I think there is, because it's not really far out in the sticks. We're going to be hitting St. Ignatius in Colfax, Washington, as well as a haunted farmhouse. So we're going to have basically 2 investigations Friday and Saturday night. So I'm really excited, and possibly checking out a Civil War battlefield, which I didn't even know there was such a thing out here. What was it called again, Don? Steptoe. We're going to be checking out that potentially on Saturday day before we head to St. Ignatius that night. So there's a bunch of stuff going on, but I will stream as much as we can. Stream as I hit puberty live on the show.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm a man of many gifts.
Oh, boy.
Well, none of them are really that good, but they are gifts nonetheless, Don. I'm the gift that keeps on giving.
Don't say it, Don. Don't say it. No.
Yeah, don't, please. So anyway, we're going to be doing that on this Friday and Saturday, so that's why there is no live shows. No scheduled live shows, but please be sure to subscribe and ring the bell if you're not already, because then you'll get notified for any streams that might be coming up unannounced or whatever. So we'll get to that as much as we can, but that's what's coming up in the near future, and that's why you won't see a Friday and Saturday show. So, Don, you feel like some news?
There's a lot of people that entered. I'm at 20 right now, and I'm still going.
You're still going. Don is compiling the list of entries right now on his spreadsheet of fun, and then he's going to apply a random number generator. And then we're going to figure out who the winner is, but that won't be happening until later in the show. So,
whoa, where'd that picture come from? Oh, Barbara.
Barbara did that at Vernal. Yeah. Barbara to put that one up there. So that was really cool. So anyway, let's get to the news. All right. Are you ready?
Yep.
Are you ready?
Nope. Yep.
Want to eat?
No.
Here you go.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Batman says, "Hey Don, looks like your winter coat is coming in."
Yeah, it's getting thicker.
It's his beard growing. He's going full wolf on me.
Yeah, somebody said, "Gee, you see how patchy? Now it's growing in." It's never been patchy. It's just growing in.
Yeah, he actually filled in the cheeks.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, yeah. That's what I said.
Plenty of other stuffs about you that's patchy, but it's
Yeah.
never been your beard.
That's what she said when I was eating that pizza. Stuffing. Never mind.
I don't know.
Oh God.
I don't know where to go with that. I just chose silence because I was stunned into silence. I didn't.
Oh my goodness, how many?
All right, so let's get going with the news, and we'll see just what the hell's what I've pulled up for you guys. I'm not sure what I did pull up anymore. The first article tonight is coming from, of course, a site called unexplained-mysteries.com, and I love this site. Please support what they're doing over there, because they do an exceptional job. I know I say that every show, but I couldn't mean it more. So definitely support what they're doing. There's some cool news articles coming up, but this first one is kind of interesting.
Did you say canoodles?
I may have. I just can't always trust my own palate to spit out words that make sense. So let's get to this. This is the first article, and this is from unexplained-mysteries.com. Brings us Ghosts and Hauntings category. Popular paranormal TV series to return with UFO-themed follow-up. Oh. So, sounds like they went from ghosts to UFOs here. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know if this is a dramatization or if it's a research. Let's see. Let's find out just what this means, folks.
Certainly.
It says the first series investigated the mysterious events surrounding one of the UK's most haunted buildings. Oh. The series named Paranormal, The Girl, The Ghost, and The Gravestone saw Radio 1 presenter Sian Allery investigate one of the most chilling locations in Wales' Pennyford Farm. Mother of four, Rosemary Gower, whose family was at the center of the phenomena that occurred there, spent years documenting everything from strange writing and symbols appearing on the walls to objects being moved around, disembodied voices in empty rooms, and sightings full of full-blown apparitions. In one case, a large wooden owl was seen moving on its own, while in another, the figure of a pregnant woman mysteriously appeared on the patio before vanishing into thin air. Larry's journey to get to the bottom of the mystery saw her visit the house itself and interview several members of the Gower family who'd recalled a number of disturbing experiences. The show proved a hit, with over 2 million viewers streaming it online, prompting the BBC to commission a second series, this time following Hilaria as she investigates the UFO phenomena. Wow, she's a busy lady. A second series is upon us, she said. It's been so... Are you tapping something? Oh. It's been so eye-opening to investigate an open-ended issues, with Series 1 raising questions challenging my own beliefs, so I can't wait to get started on the next celestial adventure. The world of UFOs, extraterrestrial activity, and other theories around what exists in our skies is vast, so who knows what we might discover. I'm intrigued to find out. Watch this space for any details of when the new series will air.
Sweet. Where's it going to air?
BBC is what it sounds like. So
Oh.
maybe on BBC America if you're in the States here, or
Maybe a BritBox.
I don't know. Have no idea. So it looks like it'd be good. I'd like to check out that first series dealing with the Pennyford farm. That sounds awesome. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know any more about it, but I love me some paranormal TV. Don't you, Don?
Ford
Do you ever?
Farm. Yes.
2 F's, by the
Two
way.
F's, 2 F's, 2 D's.
Yeah, 2 F's, 2 D's. I think in Welsh that changes the pronunciation a bunch, but I don't remember how.
Historical farm series. Nope. Not that. All right, let me do some.
Well, I mean, it's not that important. But anyway, it's something I would like to check out. So let's get to the next article up here on the Paranormal Portal News. And in this one, it's kind of a good one, although I think they're already out there anyway. But I guess it does move forward genetic experimentation a little bit, because according to unexplained-mysteries.com, scientists recover RNA from extinct species for the first time, and it's the thylacines.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
they actually recovered RNA. So,
Nice.
in a world's first, scientists have succeeded in recovering RNA molecules from a preserved Tasmanian tiger specimen. Officially thought to have gone extinct decades ago, the thylacine, or Tasmanian tiger, was a distinctive carnivorous marsupial native to Australia, Tasmania, and New Guinea. In more recent years, researchers have been attempting to find a way to effectively bring the species back to life using samples collected from carefully preserved museum specimens. Now it seems as though the idea of resurrecting the thylacine had been brought one step closer to reality thanks to a new study which successfully recovered RNA molecules from a Tasmanian tiger specimen that had been preserved in a collection at a Swedish Museum of Natural History in Stockholm for 130 years. Wow.
Wow. Yeah, those Swedish, they're pretty good at saving stuff.
I guess so. This enabled the team to sequence the transcriptomy of the skin and skeletal muscle tissues, revealing tissue-specific gene expression signatures similar to those of extant marsupials. This is the first time that we have had a glimpse into the existence of thylacine-specific regulatory genes such as microRNAs that got extinct more than 1 century ago, said Mark R. Friedlander, an associate professor of molecular biosciences at Stockholm University. It will be some time, however, before bringing the species back to life will become possible.
Well, I don't know why. They're working on mammoths, woolly mammoths already.
Right. Well, it's hard to say. Resurrecting the Tasmanian tiger or woolly mammoth is not a trivial task and will require a deep knowledge of both the genome and the transcriptomy regulation of such renowned species, something that only now is starting to be revealed, said study lead author Emilio Marmol.
Marmol?
Marmol.
That's kind of cool.
That is cool.
Having Tassie tigers would be way cool again.
It would be cool, but I think they're still there. I think they're still out there in
Yeah, we've talked to our friend Ken. He swears he's seen them.
Ken and Dean, and we've heard a few claims that people are seeing something out there that looks like the Tasmanian tiger, but I think they're still there. I don't think they were all hunted to extinction.
I think they just got smart like Bigfoot and went, you know what? Screw this.
Nope. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I mean, Australia, the wilds of Australia are enormous.
Right.
Like all the population centers are on the coast all around there.
Right.
But there's not a lot in the middle around there. And I don't know, maybe it's a big desert. I'm not really familiar with it.
I got a lot in the middle here.
Well, we're not going to be searching those crevices.
Damn.
Anyway, it's not part of the purview.
Why did you say crevices? What? Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm just saying, you know,
This
never
guy.
mind. Sorry, we're not gonna explore your verdant plains, Don. Is that better? Your verdant plains, was that better? I don't know. I'm just throwing words out.
Rachel says it best. She says yabba dabba delicious. Of course, she's not talking to me, but it's kind of felt right.
Who's she talking to exactly?
She's talking to Batman.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Because Batman said he wanted some Fred Flintstone mammoth ribs. The Brontosaurus burger stuff.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I don't know if I suppose that would be,
They'd be great
interesting,
on the
wouldn't
grill,
it?
I'm sure.
Yeah, on the grill. You're gonna need a bigger grill, Don.
I know. Yeah.
Yep.
That's there.
Need
Just
some-
go with short ribs. Quotes.
They're still bigger than we are.
Right.
Even the short ribs, I'm sure. Here we go. Here's another interesting clip, and this one is featuring David Duchovny of all people.
Oh, wow. No way.
Fox Mulder himself.
Fox moldy.
It's kind of. I did pre-read this one because I was too curious,
Oh,
and I'm gonna have to doctor some of the language because
Oh, he's not. No.
yeah, he's not real
He's not.
filtered.
No, he's not.
All right, so unexplained-mysteries.com brings us a UFO phenomena. The X-Files' David Duchovny offers his theory on alien visitation. This again by T.K. Randall, who does all these articles. I don't know how this person
Is
does
there
it.
anybody else?
I've never seen another name listed on
Me
here, so
neither.
T.K. Randall is the boss. Like, huge. It says Fox Mulder himself has offered up a rather unconventional explanation
Go figure.
for why aliens might visit the Earth.
Like Okoboji.
It's hard to believe that it has been 30 years this month since the X-Files first debuted on TV. Now I feel old. Thank
I
you.
remember watching that.
The show proved an enormous hit, with millions tuning in each week to find out what supernatural horrors, alien threats, or criminal nutcases Fox Mulder and Dana Scully would be investigating next. Recently, actor David Duchovny, who played Mulder, sat down for an interview with Natalie Morales, during which he offered up his own theory on why aliens might be visiting Earth. Suffice to say, his idea is even more out there than the plot of an episode from the show. The premise centers around something known as the Ship of Fools. Before they saw mental illness as something to care for or to mitigate in some humanitarian way, they would lock people up as in prison, or there is something they would do, he said. They put them on a ship and they just send them out into the ocean.
Yeah.
So this is a Ship of Fools, and that's what it is called. My theory about alien visitation is that they put all their dentists and perverts on a spaceship, and they're like, we hate our dentists and the people who stick fingers up the
Not the D holes.
no, the rears, the bee holes,
You could say a holes.
a-holes. Okay.
say
And
a-holes.
so now they're circling and they pick us up and they drill our teeth and probe our bee holes. So, there's some things, you just can't be prepared for as an interviewer. And that would be one of them. So as far as David Duchovny is concerned, these are just the dregs of alien society.
Pew, 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 pew,
The
pew,
Ship of
pew.
Fools. I never heard of that before. I believe he's probably right. I don't know. I think there's been songs. Didn't Robert Plant do a Ship of Fools or something like that?
Oh,
I thought he did when he did his solo stuff. But anyway,
he may have.
there you go,
I
folks.
just remember in the mood for a melody.
Yep, I remember that too. Yep. I learned what a ton macoute was.
A what?
It's all got all the romance of a ton macoute.
What's
It's from
that?
it's a Robert Plant song.
Okay, what does it mean?
I can't remember anymore, but I remember looking it up because I was like, "What the
Here you
hell's
got
a
me all excited. I was going to learn
ton
something new.
macoute?" I think it's
Okay.
like a party of a war party or something. I don't know. Anyway, I can't remember, but I remember it wasn't romantic at all. So I did remember that much. But anyway, let's get to the next article. That's what David Duchovny thinks. How about you? Let me know in the comments if you don't mind, because I don't know. It's kind of an interesting thought. Here comes the last of our articles for the news tonight, folks. And this one is a video included in the news. All right. Did you look it up?
Yeah, I don't know how to spell it, so I'm not going
I
to
think
find
it's
it.
TON and then a MAACOUTE. Like a ton
Okay, yeah, Tantan Makut. Oh. Okay, a Tantan Makut is a Haitian paramilitary secret police force.
Okay, yep. With all the romance of the ton macoute. Okay.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yep. In other words, not romantic at all.
No.
All right, here comes the last news article of the night. This one's from unexplained-mysteries.com and the amazing T.K. Randall. Excuse me, hold on. There we go. I could have just not muted if you're going to do that. I was trying to be all professional. Yeah, why start now, right?
I mean,
All right.
if you want me to, I can drag us down. It's okay.
No,
It's not that hard.
no, I know you are the Led Zeppelin of the show. That was good, and you know it. Come on, Led Zeppelin. Remember? We go over like a Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Come on. All right, don't get sensitive on me. You should know way better by now. The course of doing this show. If you get feelings now, you're so late.
Yeah.
You are so late. All right. CCTV footage shows allegedly haunted bicycle moving on its own.
Sweet.
That's something you don't see every day.
I like to ride my bicycle.
Oh, yeah, there you go. A driverless bicycle moving along a historic city street has been generating some heated debate online this week. The peculiar clip, which recently went viral on social media, was captured on CCTV camera in shambles. It was in shambles. A historic street in the city of York, England. Wow, is that you suppose that's where this place is in shambles?
Probably.
Just a piece of crap. Is that
Maybe.
I wonder if that's where that figure of speech came from. All right, it shows a regular bicycle without rider or apparent human intervention moving several feet down the street before coming to a standstill and eventually tipping over. The phenomenon has elicited some conflicting opinions, with some arguing that it could be evidence of paranormal activity and others dismissing it entirely, the entire thing as a hoax. York is a great place for unusual occurrences, and Shambles is a place like any other, ghost tour owner Mark Graham told the press. Ghost stories are like jigsaws. There's a piece to show the full picture. And I don't think the riderless bike is anything at the moment. That seems to be an isolated incident, and it may be linked to some others. And I would urge people to come forward who know anything. So, in the spirit of this being a paranormal show and all, let's check it out. And this is coming from the Shambles Market, York. I guess it's a webcam they have up. So let's see what's going on. It is kind of convenient heading into Halloween, right?
Oh yeah.
So let's see what it's doing. Let me make sure it's visible. Yep. There it is. Oh, it actually does stop. It actually came to a stop.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of convincing. I mean, it actually sat in a stopped position for a second or two, right?
That little curb right there was just enough to hold it up for just a little bit.
It does seem to kind of teeter a little bit as it's coming, though. As if something is holding it up and then is let go of. I don't know what's above it, if they could have rigged up some kind of suspension for it to just hold it up. But if you look at it, as it's here, it's just kind of wobbles back and forth just a hair. There. It's like it hit a resistance point on both sides. I want to play it again because I think that's important that it's probably set up. Here it comes. I'm gonna call it. There's one, and there's another wobble. So there's a wobble this way and then this way, and then it seems pretty much upright until it stops. So I don't know. You have any thoughts, Don?
I like it.
You like it?
I like it.
It could be legit. I mean, I don't know how a spirit interacts with objects. It's not like I've observed it a bunch, but it does have the hallmarks of something holding it upright. In the sense of, could it be a ghost holding it upright, or is it suspended by like some fish line that's out of frame?
Right.
I don't know. That's
I don't know, because a kid riding a bike will bobble like that too. Even somebody who knows how to ride a bike will bobble like that.
Sure. And the pedals weren't moving though, were they?
No, I don't.
I didn't notice that before, but I'm going to look now. No, they're stationary.
No, they're stationary.
Yep. That is strange though.
So what if he wasn't so much riding it, but pushing it?
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Like, screw this.
Because we used to do that all the time when I was a kid. You'd like push your bike and see how far it would go, but it definitely had to have more speed than that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So either this is a legit thing or it's just a clever suspension system hoax. But in any case, you be the judge. I don't know.
So
I didn't realize this.
Shambles. In addition to these names, okay. So apparently many places in the UK have the name Shambles or Shambles Streets.
Oh.
They seem to be connected with butcher shops.
Oh, okay.
So,
Wow. Well, I guess, those are generally can be pretty unkempt in many cases.
the plural term shambles became a place where butchers sold their meat. But it seems that shambles is not the original name. Records show that the name, Hey Mongerit, was used until in 1240. The Marketshire was used during the 14th century, blah, 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 until it was called the Shambles and Pavement.
Ooh, we're surrounded,
No,
Don.
why? Don't stand by me.
Actually, there was one by me and then one like by the wall or on the outside. So it didn't look like it was by you, actually. There's
I
one
thought there was one like right here.
not quite that far over, though.
Huh. Stay there.
Again, I don't know how many feet
Good, thanks.
the radar is.
Well, I have
How
2
many
feet.
feet is that? I see what you did there. All right, but that is strange. I don't know the bike. What do you think, folks? Was it legit paranormal activity captured on film, or was it just a clever hoax? What do you think? Let me know in the comments if you're not watching it live, if you're watching a replay, but in the chat if you're live, because I'd like to know what you guys think. Just Info says, ghosts. Could be ghosts. Could be. Jury out on this one. Barbara Mora says, Luna says, hey, all.
Hi, Luna Unicorn.
Luna just came in. How you doing, Luna? So I think it's a decent video. It potentially could. I don't know what it looks like when a ghost rides a bicycle, So that's the curious part. Just a hoax, not lever. Not lever. Okay. Yeah, Batman says just a hoax. I guess when I saw the teetering points where it kind of stopped and then went the other way and stopped, it was a red flag for me, but I don't know what it would look like if it was a ghost either.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's how a ghost would do it too. Oh, it's moving. I'm going to catch it. But who knows? Anyway, this has been a production of the Paranormal Portal News. What did I miss?
No, that was just funny.
That's probably a hoax, Maggie says.
The news part.
Shambles would be a step up. All right, let's get back to the rest of the show. What is going on in there? What is going on in there? I swear. Never ceases to amaze me the things that you do. All right. But we have a lot more of the show to come up, of course, because now we are actually going to move to Discord for the next, move.
Oh, move.
Yep. We're going to do a giveaway later to one of our lucky Discord members. There's still time to join. I'm going to put a link here. Don's like, wait, you're going to add more? Let me just put a link here to join the Discord. If you want to be considered as a potential recipient of a giveaway shirt, then you got to join the Discord to do that. And the way to do that is https://discord.gg/paranormal portal. Thank you to K-Love again for making this possible. She boosted the server until we could make a static URL. Did you know that, Don?
She boosted the server till we can make a static URL.
On Discord, yeah.
I don't really know what that means.
Well, generally speaking, when Discord servers are free, but you can't really pin down your own URL until you've reached a certain level.
Okay.
And you can, you have to invest to get to that level. And so K-Love brought us to that level.
Sweet!
Yeah, what a wonderful thing.
That's how much people love us.
My, aren't I the popular one? What'd you do, Noah? What made you popular? Oh, just because everyone said hello? Of course we say hello
Hi,
around
Noah.
here, Noah. Good to see you. How'd you been watching for a month now? Just chimed in on a whim.
Sweet.
I like that. It's kind of poetic, too.
Chimed in on a win. I bet he's a Longfellow and he doesn't know it.
Could be.
This is not a valid menu option.
It's been a long time since we've heard that.
I don't know where that comes from. I have no idea. I have no idea what's doing that or what happens when that happens, but it comes up every once in a great while, and it's been a great while. But this, it's the ghosts in the machine, folks. I think. I don't know.
Truth.
It's not the ghost radar. It's not doing that. It's not Skype. I don't think. The only thing I'm dialed into Skype is the phone lines, and that's not errored or anything. So, and no activity has been happening. So I don't know.
Wow.
Very weird, whatever it is. Yep. Yeah, Maggie. Valid menu option lady strikes again. Yes, she does. She apparently hasn't forgotten about us. But let's get to our Discord community, which again is next. And the reason we keep bringing up Discord is because we do pose a question to our Discord community dealing with paranormal. Could be cryptids, could be UFOs, could be ghosts, could be strange phenomena, but some question will get asked of our Discord community before the live shows, and in order for you guys to weigh in if you're a part of the community over there. So Chucky's been doing a wonderful job with this. And what giveaway, Big D says. What do you mean, what giveaway? He said it in the giveaway thread. The one to give away a shirt, of course. Free Paranormal Portal t-shirt to the winner. So we're going to see who that winner is later in the show. But if you do join the Discord server, it's going to look just like this. And if you go to the giveaways right here and click it, that'll bring you to the giveaway thread. And that's the picture Don was talking about. That's from Phenomicon. Don and I are sitting at our table. And
it was phenomecomical.
Phenomecomical. Yep, it was. It was a good time.
It was fun. It was great. Yeah.
It was a really good time. Yeah, I had a better time last year, but that's because Wes was just so awesome. But we had a great time this year too. So, this is the Discord. So if you want to get into the giveaway of the free shirts, you got to go in here and say enter me, or put your name in this thread, because we are compiling the list. Don is hard at work compiling those lists of names, and then we're going to just run a random number generator out of 1 through how many names and just see what it spits out, and whoever gets it is the winner. All right, so but we are more concerned right now with the question of the week, and this is Chucky's project. He's been spearheading for the portal. Thank you so much, Chucky.
He's nailing it.
He's nailing it. He is nailing it. Before we do this, let me do this.
Oh boy.
Boom. All right. So here we are, and Don, are you all set to read, or
I am.
Or would you like me to?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm going to read the Discord question of the week. First, we'll read the question, then we'll read the answers. But be ready, Don, because I get a lot of these chopped off things, and I don't know who these names are, because they give me one letter and then dots.
I wonder why they do that.
I don't know. I have no idea what the hell's going on, but it drives me crazy. Even if I stretch it out, it doesn't stretch those names out at all. So... Oh, you didn't. All right. Anyway, the question is from Chucky Danger, and the question of the week for the Wednesday show. And this will be the only question this week. And remember, another piece of news. Sorry, I should have mentioned this before.
Probably.
A week from tonight, we're going to be joined by Mr. Lon Strickler here on the Wednesday show. So, of course, Lon is a gentleman who's been at this for a long time. He's a pillar in the paranormal and Fortean communities, and has his own show, Phantoms and Monsters Radio, as well as a website, phantomsandmonsters.com. So we cover articles quite often from phantomsandmonsters.com. And Lon will be here. We'll be talking about all the weirdness that is the paranormal. And you guys, as the audience, you have questions ready that you want to ask. You can ask them in the chat, or you can call in and talk to Lon yourself. But that'll be a week from tonight, right here on the Paranormal Portal. So Lon Strickler, Mr. Lon Strickler, will be here. So don't miss that. So, question of the week, Wednesday show. Although uncommonly reported, nearly every culture has tales of the Fae. What are your thoughts on the fairies? Do you think they are real? That's a great question. And we don't talk about the Fae a lot on the show, but it's a subject I find absolutely fascinating. And if I had more resources and could find more material, I would definitely dig into it a lot more and do more shows on it, because I think it's fascinating. But first up comes Eric the Purple Hobbit. He says, quite possibly so, in this ever-changing, constantly growing, by the minute, weirder and stranger world. Who knows what's possible? Yeah, absolutely. Who does know? Well, not me. All right, next up comes Rosemary Chives. And Rosemary says, sure they are, but don't think it's a good idea to make them offerings and then forget the offerings because they will retaliate and hide your things. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on changelings? Yeah, changelings is another one. And that could be another question, Chucky. And by changelings, definitely include things like skinwalkers and stuff, because changelings, I think, in a traditional folklore sense, are talking about those things that are replacing babies when the Fae come and take them.
Like the goblins. Yeah,
the changelings will take the place of the child and usually not live very long. And so, I think that's an interesting subtopic of that. But changelings also could be, shapeshifters.
True.
For that matter. But anyway, who's the P name?
Pineapple Tango.
Pineapple Tango. Okay. They are 100% real. They're not innocent, childless creatures. Think they are. They're not the innocent creatures. They're not innocent, childish creatures. They're not the innocent creatures children think they are, for the most part. Maybe that's the best way to say that. I tried to read it several times and hit a wall, so I'm just rephrasing that. So just don't mess with the Fae. They are absolutely interdimensional and have a grasp and control on using that power for their gain. They don't care about other races in any way.
No.
Yeah.
And I would agree with that, because what I know about the real Fae, we talk about, the seen and unseemly and the,
sure,
and all of that. But yeah, they are mischievous to the point of almost being just vicious.
Almost homicidal, right?
Yeah, true enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you tick them off, they hold a grudge forever. But yeah, they do. They will mess with you to no end, and you just have to be kind to them and
respectful.
Yep. And generally, they'll just mess with you. They won't,
They won't wreck your life.
They won't, they certainly won't call you the Lord of Za either. So, don't worry about that. You'd have to read books to know that name.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
There you go. So, Barbara Moore is next.
Barbara Moore is next. More of this, more of that. Yes, I do think the Fae are real. Just like the Bigfoot species, there are too many descriptions of Fae from all over the world. I also cannot discount the stories that have been woven into cultural tales and sightings of them in modern times. I'd like to think that they live in a different realm and cross over to ours when they need to. Yeah. I think that would make them interdimensional, right? So, and there's plenty of stories to substantiate that, as well as like the mysterious music, and people go dance with them, and the next thing they know, years have gone by and they return to their village. The people return after visiting the Fae, and like a whole time anomaly happens from like 2 hours in the Fae village to like 14 years or something.
Yeah, I've
crazy.
Heard that too. As a matter of fact, there was a story that I read one time, a long time ago, that a child wandered away from her parents. I don't remember if it was a boy or a girl. Mm-hmm. Their parents, and this is like back like 1700s, something like that, and was missing for like 15 years. Oh, right. But the kid only thought the kid only thought they were gone for a couple hours. Right. But they wandered into a mushroom patch and gone.
Yeah, I've got fairy rings in my yard. Yeah. I pick them and eat them, actually. They're really delicious. And they are. They're awesome. Yeah. You just saute them with some butter, and those things are just awesome.
And you talk about me eating weird stuff.
I'm just saying, that's the only mushrooms. Well, no, we eat chanterelles and stuff as well, too. Yeah. And we forage. We go foraging for the mushrooms. But the fairy circles are generally considered that you should avoid them. But it's like, I can't mow my yard and avoid one. So they get sauteed in butter, and they're good. All right, let's get to the next one. This is Moni G. I think it might be a combination of different things. There is alien abductions, Sasquatch, portals, all kinds of scary scenarios out there. So far, I still go out in the woods, although having some strange things happening before. But until I see something, I refuse to let it scare me out of the woods. Although I do not go alone anymore. Yeah, me either. I'll tell you, the innocent days of walking through the woods alone
Yep.
versus deep diving into this stuff. It's like, yeah, no, I'll make sure I'm with company. All right, coming up next then is Rachel, who's weighing in and says, I think the Fae are real. They may be a people who have evolved alongside of us and have developed abilities to live in stealth in the world. They may also be some life forms that live in parallel dimension alongside of us and naturally have the ability to pull the weave of our realm open and step through. Both our dimensions may not be that different. It's just that the Fae have this ability to travel through, maybe sometimes take something or someone back with them. There may be a certain locations on Earth where the veil can be pulled open easily, and this is what some countries, such as Iceland, have laws regarding the Huldufólk. Roads are built to avoid areas where the Fae dwell. And they may be the areas where entering our dimension is possible, like a thin door in our own neighborhoods where we hear and see people. The common chatter, noise, traffic noise can be heard and seen. Yeah, I think that's a great take on it, actually. I'm certainly, maybe it corresponds to ley lines and things like that. So maybe the divergences of ley lines could be, the natural Fae portals or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. But it's just all speculative. So next up comes Big D. More than likely, it definitely opens you up for more experiences. I've always thought the little people were real. There's too many stories of different cultures of them. Yeah, exactly. So great thoughts, everybody. I think you're right. And I think because it's like the Bigfoot, it's like the giants, there are stories of these things from disparate cultures around the world. And how did they all happen upon these very similar descriptions and behaviors, even though these cultures maybe had never mingled in any regard for, tens of thousands of years, but they have these stories. So I think there's some merit or some basis that they had. And certainly I've seen lots of weird things, several things I've talked to you guys about, but there's a lot of things that I may never, be able to fully put into words that I've experienced. I don't know that I've ever seen a fairy, but the two times that I've explained the orbs, I've had many people email me going, yeah, I think you might have seen a fae. And I was like, well, I don't know. I mean, what do I know about it? But
well, I guess a will-o'-the-wisp could be considered a fae in a way.
Sure, and maybe they're one and the same, and there's just descriptions of them. But whatever the case is, the spook lights, maybe they're all fae. We don't know, but whatever they are, I do think the takes you guys have on it is very true too. They're not just little Tinkerbells fluttering in to put dust on people for their happy dreams.
Because they wouldn't just be putting dust on you; they'd be beating you to death with it. Like, here's some more.
Yeah, you don't know.
Please don't use talc.
There does seem some diabolical stuff going on with fae.
Yeah,
definitely. So I think that those stories exist for a reason. Maybe cautionary tales, but
maybe.
I think you're right, though, Don. I think you just live respectfully, and just play nice with them, and hopefully it'll be a peaceful coexistence.
Yeah.
If they happen to be around you, and it's possible, ladies and gentlemen, that a lot of what we attribute to as hauntings could be some version of them just dwelling in our spaces. Maybe they like abandoned old buildings because we're not in them, and that's where they can be and utilize our structures for whatever. So maybe they like to spook people out. Who knows?
Maybe.
We don't always know, especially paranormal investigating. We don't know what you're talking to. You just think or you think whatever the answer is, the questions is, well, that must be it. Paranormal Portal, Rachel says, I put a link to a podcast about the Fae in Discord, the Modern Fairy Sightings podcast. I did see that, and I remember looking at that and going, oh, God, I'd like to tune in. But the problem is I just don't have enough time. But ladies and gentlemen, any of you on Discord, go check out that link. And is that in the Strange Phenomena folder? Rachel, do you remember? Just feel free to put it in the chat wherever it is, and if I see it, I'll say it out loud as well. But yeah, great takes. Noah, I live in the Ozark, Noah says, about 10 minutes from the Mark Twain National Forest. I never go in the woods without a firearm or someone else with. Seen and heard way too many things over the years. Yeah, I'm hearing you. I hear you, Noah. That's just the thing. I used to be totally naive. Hell, I played in the woods all the time.
So did I. Yeah.
I was just a frolicking nature boy. And once that growl happened, that did change a lot for me. But now doing the show, it's like, yeah, maybe with an AR, I'll go and look for mushrooms. No, but I don't go alone. I don't go without some kind of defense. Not only because, up here where we live, you're actually on the menu when you're out there.
Right? Yep, you sure are.
We got grizzly up here. We got mountain lions. God only knows what else is in these forests.
Actually, mountain lion tastes really good.
Does it really? You've eaten it?
Yeah.
Oh, I never have. There's a lot of things I haven't eaten. I just go to the grocery store and bag my limit. But
you Midwesterner.
But I'm not opposed to it. I mean, I guess if somebody has to, for whatever reason, take out an animal, it's best to use the animal. I don't agree with taking things out just to put them in a hole.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, if it's going to be taking out some animal like that, use it, because then at least you're honoring it in some degree.
Yes,
but,
Captain Beefheart.
What? Captain Beefheart? All right. Well, anyway.
Luna says, Frolicky Nature Boy and the D-Holes should be a band name.
I might mute you, Luna. Luna has been timed out.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
It's not going to be a band. Not starting the D-Hole band. That's
plain
it.
or with barbecue sauce? I would go without barbecue sauce for mountain lion. Yeah.
Really?
Just salt, pepper, garlic. Go
Really?
with the basics.
Isn't it a dry? Is it lean?
Yeah, it's lean. Yeah.
Fairy Link is in the miscellaneous section.
All right, let me find it.
Okay, so miscellaneous. Oh, it's up in the marketplace.
No, miscellaneous.
Where's miscellaneous? Oh,
gosh.
I'm in the Discord. I'm looking.
I'm there. Hold on.
There's only a marketplace miscellaneous.
No, there's just a miscellaneous. Well, it's under marketplace, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's supposed to be where we're. That's for things for sale.
Yeah, well, apparently not.
All right, Rachel, you move your link. It's in the wrong place.
Little.
We're talking about fairies, for God's sakes. It said little.
Oh, that's a good. Yeah.
Come on, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Oh my God, Maggie, where'd you get that?
What did she get?
She got a new hoodie.
Oh.
And it says "Caring for Your Hellhound," and it's got a beagle with horns. That's awesome. I want one.
Where's that, in the miscellaneous?
Yes, it's a miscellaneous.
I can put it up on screen here. Where is it?
I need one.
How far up do I have to go? Or how down?
That's all. Because that's
Yeah, that's it. Let me go.
But that pig, that's awesome. No,
is it Voontree? No, this is a trash can thumb. There's.
I need that one. I need that. There it is, right there.
Right. Oh.
I need that.
Caring for your hellhound, pets and responsibilities. Oh my God, dude, that's so you.
Yes, it is.
That's so Don.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing "Let's Sacrifice Toby" shirt today.
Oh, look at that. Two of my paintings in my moon phase.
Oh, wow.
That's very cool.
Yeah, that's actually
Beautiful.
Really cool.
Yeah, this is the miscellaneous section. It's in the marketplace section of our Discord, folks, and you can our users are taking advantage of that to offer things that they're doing, which can be purchased. So if you see something that you like, as well as the portal gear is up in the apparel, but then there's jewelry here as well. James Jack, some Native American beads I found last year. Wow. That's great. This is K-Love bought these from Love Rocks Company.
Nice.
Well, very cool. And yeah, there's more in here. Who is it? I'm so terrible with this. There's, oh my God, look at that.
I know. Yeah, I just got to that too.
There's so much stuff here. But there's AI art people are doing.
Oh, there's more pictures.
Yep, there's rosaries and stuff that are made as well. God, how long is this? Let me go way up because I think it's way up here. I wanted to showcase these because they kind of got buried. I think we should maybe. There's a lot of stuff in here that is
there's
hard
a
to
lot
see.
Of stuff in there. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is really busy. Try to keep these just to things that are being sold. Oh yeah, here it is. This is from Mel. Shepherdess, and she makes these rosaries that are beautiful.
Nice.
Yep, beautiful charms and rosaries. So there's lots of great stuff. Saying hello to everyone in chat, and Brent and Don. Hi, Diane. Well, she's listening while relaxing, not talking in chat. Okay, well, thank you for being here.
Yeah,
that's legal here too.
Yep.
But all right, folks, that's going to wrap up the Discord segment of our show tonight. So let's get back at it. All right, here we are, folks. We're back at it on the portal,
Oh my goodness!
and there's so much more to come.
I'm not finding that link, Rachel. So
Not finding it in the link. Okay.
yeah.
Well, if you find it again, Rachel, please put it in like the strange phenomena maybe, and we'll look for it there. So anyway, or put it in general and strange phenomena, whatever. Okay, that's weird that the ghost box said little or the
Yeah.
ghost radar.
That was perfect.
It is. It fit. And the last time we were talking about fish of some kind, and it said halibut, and I was like, what?
What?
So it's getting actually a little more accurate. It spit out 1745 earlier,
Oh,
which
right.
is
1745 was the year of the Jacobite Rising, which was 1745 in England.
yeah. I don't know what that has to do with here in the north of Idaho,
Who
but
knows? Yeah.
I don't know what happened here in 1745. But
The Jacobite Rising of 1745, also known as the 45 Rebellion, or simply the 45, was a Gaelic war, a Scottish Gaelic, the year Charles. It was an attempt of Charles Edward Stuart to regain the British throne from his father.
yeah, there
For
was
his father.
talk about dysfunctional families.
Yeah, definitely.
you got to throw armies at your siblings.
What's it?
Or your-
The Bloody Mary was... she was a... starts with a T. Tudor. She was a Tudor. And the Tudor family was just... Wow.
Really?
Yeah. They was gone. Anyhow,
Okay.
I digress.
You digress. All right. Well, let's get on with the rest of the show. Now, this is the next thing we're going to get to is an article that I pulled up, and this one I haven't pre-read, so I have no idea what we're going to be reading for sure. But it looks like a good article, but it's from a website called climbing.com. And it's places.
Is it a cliffhanger?
It's a cliffhanger. I like that. That was actually very clever. I got to give you props. All right. So this article is from climbing.com, and it's a ghost story, believe it or not. So it's kind of timely. But it's a climber's ghost story, unexplained. I thought, well, that's kind of wild. Okay.
All right. Maggie found it, and she posted it in... There it is. During... is it the one during... Oh, wait.
It's
Oh,
a
my.
podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to go down.
All right. A climber's ghost story unexplained. And let's get to this. It says the ghost story was first published in Ascent. Who did this article? Jeff Jackson put this article together in 2022. So I'm not sure what we're in for here. It says, my dear friend and climbing partner Benji Fink died in his sleep in Vail, Colorado. Apparently, he just drifted off peacefully, exactly the way he lived. He was 44 years old, despite not having hung out with Ben for over a year. I can honestly say that he was more than a friend, more like a brother. Such was his opinionated and loving nature. This tall, burly sportsman who lived to hunt, fish, bike, ski, and climb was raised in North Texas, close to where I grew up. Gentle, wholesome, and patient, he was beloved by animals and children. Women also seemed to gravitate to his easygoing demeanor, wry humor, and soft-spoken Southern accent. I once wrote that Benji could sweet talk the clothes off of a religious lady. Anyway, I'm not going to read that. That's horrible. And it's true, but the relationships never seemed to last beyond that inevitable moment when his imorata would ask, what's next? I don't know what that means. Sometimes the articles are written so wordy. It's like, come on, nobody can understand imorata. What the hell does that mean? In a world of anxious people, all scrambling to advance towards some imagined horizon goal, Benji was truly content with his life as it was, whether he was working at a paint store or fixing up condos in a ski resort. While others struggled for security, Benji was simply looking forward to getting up at 3 a.m., getting some ducks, bouldering at Wolcott, and then hopefully taking a nice nap. That complacency didn't sit well with a string of girlfriends who wanted, well, a little show of ambition, probably, or more, maybe just a commitment. At his packed memorial in Vail, a group of local women stood up, spoke about how much they were going to miss old NCB, non-committal Benji. I don't know, what is this? I don't know what we're reading here, folks. I might have really jumped the shark here on this one, but we'll see. Though I know Benji died in a way that we all hope to check out, painlessly happy with life in his sleep, I haven't gotten over the fact that he's gone, and I doubt I ever will. I think that's because Benji was a touchstone of sanity for me, like a rock in a sea of whitecaps, and I'd been swimming in the rough waters of life for a decade, striving. But it was a comfort to know that Benji was out there, possibly taking a nap. Another reason I'm so broken up about Benji's death is that he was a character in some of my most important memories, and as everyone knows, the story of our lives are the bricks with which we build our true selves. Now, literally overnight, Benji's gone, and somehow this big piece of me has disappeared with him. A couple of weeks after Benji died, his mom, Donna, emailed to suggest I write something about him. Knowing how much Benji loved his mom, I couldn't refuse, but so many stories came to mind. Canoeing in the icy pre-dawn darkness to Benji's secret spot on the Colorado River, stomping out a duck blind and getting our limit in pintails, playing the waving game in the 90s in Rifle, where we'd sit by the road and wave at famous climbers as they drove out of the canyon, just to see who was cool and who was a jerk. So many non-wavers back then. But the story that stands out most in my memory took place sometime around 1995 in little ejido called Los Remotos, about an hour from into the Chihuahuan Desert near Mina, Nuevo Leon in Mexico. One day, way out in the desert, digging up peyote for use for medicinal purposes.
Right.
Benji and I spotted a huge stone prow in the distance, flanked by steep golden gray limestone walls, standing a couple of 1,000 feet above the cactus scrub like a massive schooner by the gods. Damn, Benji said, we ought to climb that thing. And so, skipping for the time being, our uncanny encounter with a truck full of federales who appeared like a nightmare in search for our car, found the peyote and inexplicably wished us buen dia, and let us go, a plan was hatched. We talked it over that night with our friends in the Gutierrez Villario brothers and discovered that they were not only knew of this towering formation called La Papa, after the poop deck of a ship, but that one of the brothers, Mimo, actually worked near the wall, dumping industrial waste. Oh, jeez. He was decked out in his plastic hazmat suit, even as we spoke, getting ready for work by drinking a few holiday beers called Indios. Yes, he said proudly, we'll get the waste from all over the world, Germany, Los Estados Unidos, Peru, Canada, but this desert was a very strange place. Sometimes the little green men run beside the truck at night. What the hell was that? Was that your phone?
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay. I don't know
why.
It vibrated me. He said, but this desert is a very strange place. Sometimes like little green men run beside the truck at night and bang on La Carga. Oh, yes, and the mummies walk the desert at night. Los Naguales. Wait a minute, Benji said. What's a Naguale? Shapeshifter, Mimo said. They look like regular men, but they can change into animals. Oh, wow. Naguale. I've never heard that word before. Yeah. Okay. Dude, Benji said, looking at me with concern in his eyes. I don't believe in that stuff. I said, do you? Maybe. This is Mexico, man. Weird stuff happens. Early the next morning, we found the allure of a first ascent to be stronger than our fear of green men, mummies, and naguales, so we packed up our gear, food, and enough water for 5 thirsty days. And we also looked around for our bag of peyote, which we planned to eat that morning for sustenance.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you need sustenance,
That'll
right?
Keep you awake. Fed. Yeah.
When Homero, another brother of the brothers, ascertained that what we were looking for, he brought out several bottles of rubbing alcohol and pointed to the white lumps, like chunks of potato floating in the liquid. Trying to be helpful, he chopped up all our peyote buttons and soaked them in alcohol. Turns out that the locals had no idea that peyote could be ingested, and they used it as a liniment. And so, mildly disappointed, we thanked Homero and told him we'd look forward to rubbing peyote juice on our sore muscles when we returned. Oh, man, then set off in my beater Nissan pickup, following a vague dirt two-track gunning through lakes of deep dust that shot like geysers across the windshield, rumbling over washboard ruts towards the big prow. The road ended in a place on the map called Los Remotos, which consisted of a red windmill and a cistern of brackish water. After a little wandering, we discovered a cave dug out of the dirt wall near the canyon Arroyo. A short, slumped, weather-beaten man in dirty black slacks and a filthy tan dress shirt emerged from the cave and mumbled something in a guttural language that might have been Spanish. Using a mixture of Spanglish and charades, we learned his name, Luciano Espinoza, and found out that he had access to a mule named Macho. He told us that Macho could indeed carry our 6 gallons of water up the steep talus, heaped for 1,000 feet to the base of the wall. Luciano disappeared around the bend of the Arroyo and reappeared an hour later leading a yellow mule. We tied our water and pack of gear to a wooden saddle that looked like a roof of a doghouse and then set out towards the wall. Luciano's breath was ragged and he cursed Macho in the odd glottal tongue that resembled Spanish, throwing his blown-out huaraches forward like a child trying to toss a heavy horseshoe. The sun beat down like a tin hammer, and the hill went on and on ever steepening. Roughly 2 hours into the hike, Macho backed his hoofs to the edge of a 15-foot drop and refused to budge. Luciano cursed and tugged on the reins, and Benji stood behind the mule, banging on the yellow hindquarters with a sotol stalk. Macho's eyes rolled white as cue balls, and he reared up, pawing the air with his front feet, and then tipped over backwards, plunging into a brace of dagger-tipped agave cactus.
Oh, God.
We all scrambled down and cut away the saddle. Luciano was moaning, "Es di mi tío. It's my uncle's burro."
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Amazingly, Macho struggled up and wandered off to crop at some prickly pears. He appeared to be unscathed. "We'll carry from here," Benji said. Luciano helped us porter our gear to a little cave made from 2 boulders just a few minutes from the base of the wall. And as the sun set, he took Macho's reins, and prepared to start down the hill. The weather had changed, and the thick fog the locals call nieble was swirling like blowing wool. We gave Luciano a headlamp and $5, which he tried to refuse, wished him luck, and watched until his light disappeared into the fog. We busied ourselves setting up camp. About an hour later, I was boiling water for ramen when Benji said, "Dude, turn off your headlamp." Well, I cut my light, and Benji pointed down the hill, and I looked and caught my breath in terror. The entire hillside was checked with eerie gold lights. At that time, Luciano was a magical place to us.
Nope. Mexico.
Or Mexico, sorry.
Wow.
What did I say?
Luciano.
Oh, at that time, Mexico was a magical place to us. It had only been 5 years since we'd stumbled onto the massive walls of Potrero Chico, a mysteriously rising like a manifestation just a couple of hours across the Texas border. And the country still seemed foreign and strange and not altogether friendly. My buddy Dwayne Raleigh had made one trip to La Huasteca, crag near Monterey, in the 80s, and the police nabbed him at gunpoint 3 times in one night. Jeez. More recently, on an exploratory mission to the big 800-foot plug-shaped massif called Cerro Gordo, Benji and I had found an orange stone with these words scraped into the patina: "A todos los gringos que pasan aquí mantalos, ver," which roughly translated means, "To all the gringos that pass here, they kill them. Pay attention." Oof, that's not good. And now here we are in Los Remotos, Mexico, looking down at a troop of lights marching towards us to what? We debated urgently in coarse whispers. What the hell? I don't know. What do we do? Are they coming to kill us? Maybe they just want to say hi. Or rob us, or what? Did we eat that peyote? No. Are you sure? Yes. What the hell? Benji dug out the binoculars and we took turns scanning the slope, and what we saw through the binos was even more horrifying. It was difficult to discern exactly because the soupy fog obscured the walkers, but it looked like a group of about 40 people with huge anvil-shaped heads and spindly legs holding lanterns and lurching uphill towards us. We were completely gripped. The wind picked up, and the niebla thickened as the walkers approached. Benji and I scurried uphill, leaving our camp strewn and disorganized, and we jammed ourselves into a tight hole in the talus and spent a cramped and uncomfortable night, shivering with cold, too terrified to utter a word. The next morning dawned and sunny and cool, perfect for climbing, and we climbed out of our hole, and Benji scanned the slope with his binoculars, handing them to me after a few moments, and I took a look and shuddered. No people, but the slope below us was covered in shaggy ponies. Naguales? I said. Down at the camp, we munched on power bars and discussed what to do. The wall above looked incredible, impossibly steep, and featured with tufas that stood out like rocks, off the rocks like Cadillac fins, and surfboards, and it looked like the kind of climb flatlanders like Ben and I dreamed about during long, hot, sticky, unclimbable Texas summers. And yet there were those troubling supernatural shapeshifters that might or might not return to murder us in our sleep. To go or stay. Such a conundrum. Benji broke my reverie by shouldering his pack and said, "Let's do it." Of all the memories of Ben, this moment is my favorite because it points to his greatest attribute. Benjamin Matthew Fink was far from complacent. In fact, he was the gamest man I've ever known. I'm sure most people would have turned tail and descended that day. I certainly wanted to, but because Benji wanted to go for it, we ended up establishing perhaps the best, certainly the steepest big wall free route in Mexico. Last year, 20 years later, Alex Honnold and Josh McCoy made the first repeat of our route, El Gavilan, and confirmed its quality. Benji called me and we relived that adventure and talked about adventures to come. I'm saddened these plans won't come to pass, but I'm so grateful for the time we had together. I can only imagine that Benji is enjoying himself somewhere on the other side, hunting and fishing, climbing and skiing, and biking and napping.
Huh.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's kind of a sweet story, though. It's really, really neat.
It is a good story, but the problem is, it's a story.
It is, but is it just because this person is a writer, or is it a real memory? I mean, it's not your average story where they're kind of written like people talk. This guy built a scene as well, but I don't know. I mean, could it be real? Yeah, it could be. The weird part is those night people.
Yeah.
That turned into. Did they turn into the ponies, or what the hell was that? I don't know. What do you think, Don?
Don't know. Yeah, I'm doing some shopping.
Don's sitting here shopping.
I need that shirt.
You don't need it now.
I need that shirt.
Just bookmark it. Come back to it.
It's in Australian dollars, though. Dang it.
Well, I'm sure they can do conversions.
Yeah, they'll do conversions.
Well, there you go. That was that story. I hope you guys liked it. I thought that was kind of cool. I was a little nervous because I didn't know what I was going to be reading.
That's what makes it fun.
Yeah. It's frustrating when you catch a good headline. You go, oh, this is gonna be a good one, and then you read it on a live show and it's absolutely nothing about the paranormal.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I'm sorry, I just wasted 15 minutes of everyone's lives.
Right.
And it's better than the 2 hours we normally waste of your lives. But anyway, I thought it was a good story. I hope you guys liked it. I'm sorry if I beat the hell out of a lot of it reading it, but I'm just a Midwestern guy without much worldly palate to pronounce things. So anyway.
Butchered the hell out of it.
I butcher the hell out of a lot of stories. Remember those times when I tried to read the ones from Iceland?
Oh, God.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, don't do that anymore.
No, I very intentionally scream for Norwegian.
Right.
Anything from Scandinavia or Iceland. I can't say those words. I have no idea how they make sound. I don't know.
Iceland has one of the hardest language in the world to learn.
I would agree with that because even looking at it scares the hell out of me.
Right.
I'm like, wow, that's a lot of letters that don't seem to make sounds in my head. So
right.
I'd have to start from like scratch. All right. So I guess we'll go to the cryptid corner. What do you think, Don?
Cryptid corner.
Woo! Cryptid corner. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the segment of our show we like to call the Cryptid Corner. This is where we talk about all the cryptids and creatures and strange beings that seem to wander our world and seem to be very physical. They're not spiritual necessarily. Although I did pull up a couple stories. One of them I'm going to hopefully be able to read, but it freaks me out. It does really freak me out. So,
well, yeah, let's get to that.
Let's get to that. So, the first one up though is from Sasquatch Chronicles. Of course, our good friend Mr. Wes Germer.
Never heard of her.
You have to. You've heard of him because he's the guy.
He's the man.
He's the man and put together this site called SasquatchChronicles.com. If you are into Sasquatch or the cryptids at all, this is a site you're going to want to know. If you don't already know it, where you been first, and second, check it out because Wes does a podcast, but this website is also amazingly taken care of and kept up to date. And sometimes he features our stuff on here too, which is cool.
Shh, tell everybody.
Tell everybody? I do.
I was like, shh, tell everybody. It was a secret to tell everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness, never mind.
All right. So let's get to the first of the Sasquatch Chronicles blog articles that I've pulled up. There's a video one in here too, I think. So let's get through these. The first one is from September 20th. Video of something taken in Massachusetts. This is the video one, I guess. There we go. And I think I saw this one also on Ronnie LeBlanc's Facebook page as well. Ronnie LeBlanc. Ricky LeBlanc. Ronnie LeBlanc's Facebook page. He is, of course, from
Expedition Bigfoot.
Expedition Bigfoot. Thank you. Those words were just gone from my head. It says video of something taken in Massachusetts. A listener writes, "Hey, buddy, I come across some great footage of a Sasquatch in Massachusetts that, if you haven't seen, you need to check out. Slow the video speed and zoom in on it. Probably the best footage of a Bigfoot moving quickly. The person who took the footage goes by Bilbo Swaggins."
Nice. Nice.
That sounds like a porn name, doesn't
Well,
it?
at least it doesn't say, it doesn't spelled with a D.
Oh, yeah.
Then it would be a porn name.
That would be. On YouTube, and writes, "I was testing out the depth of field on my new camera by filming a patch of leaves in the Lincoln Woods Wildlife Reserve in Leominster, Massachusetts. And immediately I heard a noise a few hundred feet behind me. After that, I saw something at the 16-second mark, and I just can't explain what it was. I've not seen this footage before, I don't think anyways. I might have to slow it down for a better look. Here's a link to open it outside of the app. So let's look at it in the app here first. And this is Baby Bigfoot Sighting, Massachusetts. And this is from Sasquatch Chronicles blog. So special thanks to Wes for letting us use this, but let's take a look. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Doesn't seem like there's sound. Oh, there is sound. Okay. So he's looking around. Ooh, wood knock.
Oh. Oh.
Wow.
It's a bunyip.
What the fuck is that?
Hey.
Language. Sorry. I'm glad I have the volume up because I didn't know there was a wood knock in here, but
Yeah.
I can't help the language. Sorry about that, folks. Let's
And he
get back to
was
that.
moving too.
I want to get to this. Okay, I want to do this now. I want to do the frame by frame thing. Let's go back.
Oh, look at those arms.
It does.
They're pretty long arms.
Yeah, they seem to come low, don't they?
Yep.
I don't think it's a big one, but
Well, it says baby Bigfoot, so.
yeah. So I think they're right. I want to get to back from where it starts here. If you're ever on YouTube, folks, and you pause the YouTube video, you can just use the period and the comma
I didn't
to
know.
go frame by frame after it's paused.
Period and comma. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, well, yeah, it's the forward and back button.
Yeah, forward
There's
and
a-
back
there's-
button.
yeah,
Yeah,
there's
the
the-
arrows.
Greater than, less than. Yeah.
All right, so here it comes right here. That's the area of interest. Let's continue. Huh. It does look like that arm starts really low, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Wow. And I'm looking at where the elbow bend is, though. You'd think it would be, well, that is quite an arm, though. Let's see how well it moves here. Going through the tree as he pans. going to be coming up. There it is. Yeah, it's running, though. It is running.
Yeah, it's moving through there pretty quick.
So I don't know what the ground looks like over there, but if it's like the ground near the camera, then a person in a mask could be like suicide running like that.
Right? Yeah.
You'd be impaling yourself on sticks and stuff.
Parkour.
Parkour. Yeah. Looks like that's about it, isn't it? Yeah. Just that clip of it running through.
Justin Info says, "Run towards it, damn it."
Yeah, he didn't do a Roger Patterson on that, did he?
No,
Roger
no.
ran towards it. That could be a part of why Roger got that great footage. He didn't run away from it. Let's just let it play in normal now. I'm going to actually mute it so we don't get the cussing going on. There's that huge wood knock, though.
Yep. And then zoom.
And then zoomed and boom. It did a jump there, too, didn't it?
Yeah,
And then it
does
kind of
look
went
like
down.
it. Yeah, it looks like it jumped over something.
Looks like it did, just before that, I guess. Zoom. There it goes. Watch. Looks like it goes up and down.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's a jump. So, I mean, it could be, again, I don't know. It could be absolutely a well-known path over there. And maybe that would make it a lot less dangerous and more hoaxable. And then it goes right down there, doesn't it? It just goes right down.
Yep.
Like it's going downhill, whatever that is over there. I don't know. I mean, it's the arm length, I think, is very interesting. Again, it's just a matter of a few frames to go by, and none of which are crisp and pristine. They're still at a distance, even though he zooms in. But what could it be? Well, it's up to you to decide. But
That's right.
that's out of Massachusetts. Maybe it's legitimate. Maybe it's not.
Somebody wants to know if Wes said anything about the video.
No, he doesn't a lot of times. He just puts them up in the blog. He doesn't really. What is other people saying? I'll be interesting to see the video slowed up. Definitely can see a smaller brown animal moving left to right. It's bipedal for sure. We can verify that. Appeared to me to be approximately 3 feet high.
You know, I think it was higher.
I wonder how he's gauging that. Just from the tree size, maybe?
I'd say closer to 5 foot.
Yeah, I would have said the same thing, 4 to 5 feet.
And somebody says monkey suit.
Monkey suit, in my opinion, Jeff B says. Yeah, a lot of times Wes will just post these things up.
Jeff Bezos.
No, probably not. Probably not Mr. Amazon himself weighing in on a Bigfoot video. but yeah, I don't know. Could it be? Sure. But again, there isn't a lot of backstory on this. We don't really know much. So I always reserve any kind of judgment, really, because there's really not much to go on. You've got something appearing up, running, past, being covered by mostly trees, but getting little peaks, and then it disappears. So
Right.
It's not enough for anybody to say that's definitely a Bigfoot. Although some people out there will defend this with their dying breath just because they want it to be real.
Right.
Other people will poo-poo it with their dying breath because they don't want it to be real, or they just don't think that this was the capture of something real.
James Fedeke says someone gifted that thing a Red Bull.
It does look like it jumps, though, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And that arm does look long. It looks like it's starting out way low,
Yeah.
and then coming up. So
It's pumping up. It's getting ready to move.
pump you up.
Yeah. The unknown says, yeah, but how easy is it to jump in a suit?
Well, exactly, and that's where we don't know the terrain it's dealing with over there. If it's scrubby like all of this stuff, then it's brave as hell because you literally could, kill yourself or wound yourself greatly.
Parkour.
Exactly. But it could be a well-worn path, wide open driving path over
be,
there.
yeah.
We just don't know anything about this area.
And somebody just added their own little flair to it.
Yeah. Just, hey, do a tree knock and then run out of the woods and then jump down that little bank. Okay.
I can do that.
We don't know enough about we're running through. We don't know how big it is for sure. It's all just guesstimates, but could it be? Sure. The arm length does look longer than normal, but I'm not so sure that the elbow length matched the arm length.
Right.
Because it looked like the elbow length, or the elbow still bent at a normal human space.
Right.
And then from the elbow to the hand was much smaller, which could suggest arm extensions. If you look at Patty film, the Patterson-Gimlin film, it's proportional. The upper arm to the elbow to the hand, it's proportional, but it's just longer.
Right.
So the elbow bend is much lower than ours because the humerus, I think this bone is called the humerus,
It's not
is
very funny.
it's well, if you break it, it's definitely not funny. But is longer. But so are the radius and ulna of the arm. So the humerus would be up on the top. I realize I'm using the wrong freaking camera. Humerus, I think, is here.
That
Then
was
it's-
humorous.
Then that's the elbow, and then the radius and the ulna are the two bones of the forearm up to the wrist, to the carpals, metacarpals, and the phalanges. So I think
And the hip bones connected.
I think that there's possible that the elbow bend was at a human range from the shoulder to the elbow, but then it got longer on this part, which would make it extenders.
You ruin everything.
I just have to be logical
you
with this stuff.
ruin it all.
I don't mean to ruin it. I just think that that's at least worth looking at because it did look like the elbow bend was still higher up on a normal person's frame, but there was still hand below where it should be. So
How do you guys retain all this knowledge? Who guys? We don't retain anything. That's why we write down and research everything.
yeah, I don't know. Just some things that are sticking out to me. Again, these are just questions that I have about the film. I'm not poo-pooing it. I'm not saying it couldn't be. I'm just saying with what we saw, those are the questions that are jumping out at me.
Right.
So anybody, you guys have as good an idea if it's logical or makes sense as I do.
Oh, Rachel.
What'd you say?
Did they name it humerus just for giggles?
Well, that's why there's a funny bone in your elbow, right? Thank you. All right. So, yeah, I don't get paid for the humor, folks. That's free. All right. Let's go to the next one here on Sasquatch Chronicles blog. And this one is coming from September 18th. Ghost of a child minor shows up in an investigator's footage. Oh. This one looked good. Is it a cryptid? No, but if you look at the little picture here, it definitely does look like an apparition. I read a little bit about this. I have not looked at the video clip itself, but it's actually somebody who's making a video for their intro for their video, an investigation they were doing, and they actually look like they might have caught an apparition.
It's a gray Oompa Loompa.
Oompa Loompa. Ghost of a child minor shows up in investigators' footage. A video filmed as an introduction to a paranormal investigation ended up featuring something rather unexpected. British paranormal investigators Lindsay and Lee Steer had been working on filming an introduction to their visit to Husker Pit near Silkstone in South Yorkshire when they caught something strange on camera. The site itself is known for a devastating 1838 mining disaster that resulted in the deaths of 26 children who had been working the mine when a flood left them trapped and unable to escape. Oh, those poor kids.
Yeah.
Dear God. In the clip, as the camera pans out, it's possible to see what appears to be a ghostly apparition standing a short distance away from the front of a tree in the background. Didn't we do this one? We did this one before.
We did.
Yeah.
I think so.
And it looks like a maybe.
Yeah.
It looks like a little girl standing there, said Lindsay. She looks like she's got a little white dress and I can see a little face, mouth and two eyes. It looks like she's elevated off the floor and she's got bare feet. Since appearing on social media, the footage has been met with considerable skepticism, with some people arguing that the video is either an outright forgery or a case of pareidolia, the tendency for the human brain to see meaningful shapes in abstract patterns. Yeah, I mean, it could be. It says you can check out the clip for yourself below, and I know we've done this.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, I just can't remember what we thought of it, because that's the way we roll. We just don't know. It's a short, though. So let's see if we can see something. This is going to be back here.
You know, if I remember right, I said I liked it, and I do. I like this.
It could be. I mean, it could very well be. I can't remember where it is or when it's coming. It's plenty long, though. This is Dogtooth Media, by the way, as well. There it is. Okay. I want to go back and when that first comes into frame, there it is.
There it is right there, yeah. And it does seem to be materializing. So
Kinda
it
does.
wasn't there, and then it kind of faded in,
Yeah. I'd really want to see it zoomed in like that for the whole piece.
right?
I mean, they should have really just centered and did a motion capture on that.
A stabilization.
Yeah, stabilization. Yep. Not motion capture, stabilization. That was the word I was looking for. It could be, folks. I mean, it certainly could very well be. And if there's a history here, for sure. I mean, wouldn't surprise me at all. Some lingering spirits.
It disappears right at the end.
Yep. There you go. What is it? Well, we don't know. But it could just be a ghost. I wanted to show you guys that one. I tell you, the stills are much more convincing to me than the video itself. But I'd like to see the whole segment captured in like this size.
Right.
Like a zoom and run it through and make sure to stabilize on that area and just see how it manifests. But I don't know. That'd be a lot of work.
Oh, Rachel. God dang it.
What'd you say? It's like the series Stranger Things. The government is looking for 11 who has psychic powers. 11 is a child. She's a small, medium at large. Nice.
You know, that joke got Duke in trouble one time, but he was telling it from a different side. So that's a much better way to put that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
that's a much better way to put that.
All right, let's go to the next one from Sasquatch Chronicles blog, and this is from September 16th, Strange Incident on Mount Adams. A listener writes, I live in Washington and Castle Rock in 2009, and I took a friend turkey hunting. We drove up to Mount Adams at a camp spot I selected. While scouting, we set up camp and went to sleep. At around 2:30 a.m., I woke up in my sleeping bag with overwhelming fear. I knew that something was looking through the side window of my canopy into the bed where I was sleeping. I pointed my pistol at the window and told myself, if something touches that glass, I'm shooting. After a few minutes, the feeling left and it was quiet. I didn't hear anything outside of my truck. I fell back to sleep. When we both got up in the morning, we were getting ready to
Fragrance.
Fragrance.
It was me. I'm sorry.
You did something about fragrance? Don's sorry, he couldn't hold it. Better turn on the fan so that fragrance doesn't come over here. I got to read stuff and breathe through my mouth, for God's sakes. That's just not even good. All right, after a few minutes, I didn't say anything. I just thought this is strange. We both started to walk out into this clear cut to glass for birds at sunrise. As we're looking out into the clear cut, we heard a large branch break to our left. I looked over to see this large dark thing moving like nothing I'd ever seen. And I asked Wayne what was that, and we both speculated maybe a bear, but we could hear the steps and clearly see the back of the head and shoulders above the reprod. Above the reprod? Yeah. That was easily 6 feet tall, as I'm 6 feet. And we both watched this thing move away from us in a fluid motion down the hill.
Bears don't move in fluid motions.
Yeah, especially on two legs.
Yeah.
After chatting, we decided to go to another blind about a quarter of a mile from camp, and it took us about 30 minutes to get there. I put out the decoys and I got into the blind I had constructed. We botched.
I think it's supposed to say both.
Both leaned against a tree and listened after a few calls. We heard two different turkeys gobbling. We sat and waited, calling every so often to keep Tom interested. Things got so quiet, it did not feel right. A few seconds later, it sounded like a cop car turned on its siren, but just the first part, that whoop, like that. You know, the whoop that the cop cars do? The first part, that kind of high-pitched, but loud and long, and it sounded like it was right behind me, standing on a logging road on the other side of the tree we had leaned against. I got out of the blind with my pistol in hand, only to catch the same one or type of creature go over a ledge breaking trees like a herd of elk sounds. My friend looked at me and said, what the hell was that? And I said, I don't know, and grabbed the decoys and we left. I've not been back to that spot since. This was in April. Now in September, we're now hunting elk just on the edge of Trout Lake. And we go out in the morning and do our normal walk afternoon. Wayne calls me on the radio and tells me we need to make it to him to see something. I look at my GPS and he's 2 miles from me. We chat over the radio and he just keeps telling me I need to get to him, so myself and another friend, Vance, walk and get to the river across in our boxers to get to our gear back on and walk to Wayne, who's maybe 20 feet from where we came out of the river. And he points down and we're all looking at a footprint in wet, soft sand, and it's clear as day. You could see the toes, the bend in the foot as it pushed off into the sand during its step, and all three of us were in disbelief. We are all hunters and have spent our lives outdoors, and none of us has ever seen anything like this before. At this point, I start telling Vance about the turkey event, and we all still hunt and fish, just not in that spot that track was in the middle of nowhere, in a dusty or nasty draw that no one would walk barefoot down there, especially with a foot that big. I missed some details about the camp and hunt, trying to keep this kind of short. Thank you for your time, Wes. Wow. Yeah, that's a couple of great events. But I mean, I don't know. There's something to it. I was just talking to a guy that was a hunter his whole life. He's been hunting his whole life. And he's like, yeah, guy. I mean, he's got an open mind, but he said, I've never seen anything. I said, yeah, you know how many times I've heard that story? I've hunted and fished my whole life and never saw anything. But then one day, and then that one day happens, and it's like, it just changes everything. And he was like, yeah, I mean, he had an open mind about it. Really nice guy. But that one day, something happens.
That one frickin' time.
That one frickin' time. Suddenly you don't hunt and fish no more.
You can be the best guy in the world, and then just that one time you fart in public. That's it.
That's it. All right, so let's get to the next one here. And this, I think, is the last one for the Sasquatch Chronicles. This is from August 31st. I don't know. I thought I would have read this already. Well, we're reading it again. Because that's how we roll here on the portal. If I read it before, get ready for a refresher, folks. August 31st, my brother and uncle pulled their firearms out. Listener writes, I'm 23 years old and lived in Tucson, Arizona all my life. And I don't want to make this long-winded, but there is a lot to my experience and history with my family cabin. My family cabin resides in Pine Top, very close to Show Low. Okay. We very often take quick weekend vacations to either snowboard, hunt, fish, or just get away. My brothers and I would frequently wander off behind the cabin following the creek. Oh, I did read this one on the last show.
You did.
On the last show, they pull out their paintball, and then the two guys pull out their guns. Yeah, never mind. I'm not going to read it again. Sorry. I already read it once, and I don't want to give you a repeat quite that soon. Okay, so let's move over to Phantoms and Monsters, because I want to definitely get to this. Not this one, but this one. What?
Paranormal Portal Scented Candles by Dawn. Dawn scent so strong it's spooky.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, God. Thank you, Chucky.
It would have to smell like garlic and fear.
I fear.
Because
I'm not Aaron.
Or odorous.
Oh, boy.
I'm telling you. You don't want me to bottle up anything that happens with me, believe me. It would smell like pain. All right. Let's get to this one. This is the Moorbach Werewolf from phantomsandmonsters.com. Again, this is Lon's site. Great site to find all of his published works. His own podcast, Phantoms and Monsters Radio, and a whole plethora of encounter stories. It's very, very well done. So if you like any of this Fortean creature stuff, you're going to love Phantoms and Monsters. So head over to phantomsandmonsters.com and check it out. The first one is the Moorbach Werewolf, an eyewitness to the actual events. Now, I'm not familiar with the Moorbach Werewolf story at all. Are you done?
Not at all.
Yeah, so let's get into this and find out just what's going on. It says, in light of our continued investigation of cryptid canine activity, I thought a well-known incident may be of interest. In October 2015, I posted the story of the Moorbach Werewolf, which included the early history of the beast and a few modern statements. I later received a narrative from a retired U.S. Air Force staff sergeant who had been stationed in the area, Moorbach of Wenegerath, Germany. This narrative includes the actual events in 1988. I researched and received the confirmation on the locales and unit placements communicated to me in this statement and in subsequent email. What follows is the true story of the Moorbach Werewolf. In 1988, I was assigned security supervisor for the Weingrath munitions storage area. Although it was just on the other side of the village of Wenegerath, we called it Moorbach. We were assigned to Hahn Air Force Base and not Moorbach, Moorbach isn't even a base. It is a town just down the road on the B327. Well, as we drove through Weingrath, I was driving the bus, and some of the guys noticed that the candle in the shrine was not lit, and there was a full moon. We all knew of the local legend, and we just sort of laughed about it. When we first came on duty, my patrols would do a sweep of their assigned sectors. As I was in the security trailer with the security controller, radio dispatch, reading the previous shift logs, one of the foot patrols found 3 dead deer within one of the wooded areas and radioed us. When I arrived on the scene, I noticed that their throats were damaged and 2 had their entrails and hindquarters eaten, along with what appeared to be their internal organs, liver and heart. We did have wild boar in and out of the area, and these were a small barking deer species. We placed a call to the local forest meister so he could remove the deer carcasses. I went back to the security control trailer to phone the base on the incident. After that, I radioed all patrols for an area briefing to control. As the patrols rolled in, we heard a low-level but loud growl/howl coming from the direction of our only alarm structures to the west of our location. I radioed the foot patrol assigned to that area since they were still en route, and as I did, they came running out of the darkness yelling, "Did you guys hear that?" At about that time, it howled again. Low, deep, long, and loud, and it sounded like it was within our fence line. I called the entry control point to see if they had permitted any canine patrols in the area, and they said no, and also reported the howling. One of the guys said, "What if that's the werewolf?" We all just kind of giggled, but then it howled again. And this time from the center of the site, but this howl was unreal. It vibrated you inside. It's hard to describe. Oh, there's the shrine, actually. I called the base and updated them that we had a breach on some kind of animal. Sounded like a large dog, possibly a wild animal. And they stated that the forest meister had been called and was on his way. I asked the patrols if they wanted me to turn on the area lighting, and they said no. The area lighting usually made matters worse since they cast too many shadows and ruined your night vision. As it was with the full moon, we could see pretty good. I issued night vision scopes to 2 of the patrol leaders. They mounted on our M16s and informed them that they did not have permission to lock and load, or that they did not. Since it was peacetime, Cold War, we carried our weapons with a loaded magazine, weapon on safe, and no round in the chamber. When it was about to get noisy, lock and load meant to charge your weapon, jack a round into the chamber, and get ready to rock and roll, baby. I took one of the foot patrols with me, strength in numbers, and headed to the perimeter in case it tried to circle my guys. I went by the fallen deer to show the patrol, and when we got there, I noticed that the 3rd deer had also been snacked on. I immediately called all the patrols that had come back and fed on the 3rd deer. About that time, one of the mounted patrols' vehicle had made contact and was pursuing a large, dark canine. We ran in a circular route as to try to flank whatever it was, but they were chasing. The entry gate radioed me, saying that our canine patrol had arrived, and I had them dispatched to the western fence line since that's where we were all going. The pursuing patrol radioed that it was running towards the command trailer. Here's the funny part. Alpha Control radioed that he was locking down and wasn't opening the door till daylight. I took the foot patrol and headed to the fence line since we had 2 patrols going to control. The canine patrol was already there, and I dispatched him to the alarm structures to stand by. I did this since they were between control and the perimeter fence, and when we got to the fence, I put one of the guys near the fence line, and I, with the patrol leader, headed to a small hill over the watch to overwatch his position. I asked for status reports because I could hear a lot of yelling. They said it was coming towards us. I radioed control to turn on our sector's lighting. Our area was mostly open with trees on the right side. We switched off our scopes, and in that instant, we reached to turn off the units. Our guy on the fence started screaming. We turned in time to see a huge dark mass clear our 9-foot fence. It quickly faded from our perimeter lighting into the darkness. I asked for the area lighting to be turned off. I walked further up to the hill and switched on my night scope. I looked in the direction it had run. Since the magnification was weak, I really didn't expect to see anything. Then I saw it. It was leaned up against a tree, looking at us on its hind legs, breathing heavily. I yelled, 2 o'clock, 200 meters. And then it turned and faded into the trees. Only one other patrol leader saw it. It was now 2:30 a.m. The Forestmeister arrived at the entry gate. I had to sign him in, and I asked our canine unit to foot patrol the fence, but the dog had retreated to his kennel and would not come out.
Wow.
I put all units back on active patrol to remain extra vigilant. As I escorted the Forestmeister to the dead deer, I explained what had happened. He listened carefully and seemed to be absorbing it all in. He took pictures of the deer for records and then bagged the bodies. I said that it didn't appear to be the work of a wild boar. It had all the markings of a wolf attack, and he said wolves usually didn't kill their prey. They usually died from shock and blood loss. They would then they would knock it down and start eating the hindquarters with the animal still alive. This one killed them and then ate them, as evidenced by the neck injuries. I asked if they could jump a 9-foot fence, and he said this one could, and laughed. The guys were jazzed, to say the least. We had a group meeting at about 4 a.m. I said that I needed written reports by the shift's end at 6:30, so to take turns patrolling. Alpha 2 command trailer opened his door even though it was still dark out. And I remember sitting there, sipping some coffee, saying, are they going to believe this? He said we were all going to piss in a bottle. And that meant a urine analysis to see if we were on drugs. We laughed about it. Then we got back to the armory. I was pulled aside by my flight chief and shift commander, and I briefed them on what had happened. My flight chief asked me to take home the statements and proofread them first, and then turn them in before guard mount. When I arrived, I noticed that the roster had been amended. We were all going back to Moorbach, and it was very rare to have the same patrol twice, let alone the entire area. On the bus ride out there, we were pretty much quiet. I stopped the bus at the altar to make sure the candles were lit, and the old guy is awake. Thumbs up. The flight chief showed up around midnight, and we had a powwow. He said we had two choices. We could turn in the statements but omit the werewolf references, or shred the statements and have me write in the logbook that a wild animal had killed some deer in the wooded area behind the ammo building and that the Forestmeister had been dispatched. End of story. As we all looked at each other, he stated that our PRP would be called into question. PRP is a program that enables us to work around nuclear resources. To lose our PRP cast a dark cloud over you. Plus, you got crap details and you were being reevaluated. Took up to 45 days, so we opted for the latter. Some of us chose not to talk about it, but obviously some did. It really happened. It wasn't some story to scare the Jeeps. Jeeps are the rookies, etc. Was it a werewolf? Wasn't it an endangered European wolf? Was it a coincidence that the candle was out that night of a full moon? You decide. As for me, I'll say this. The above statement is true to the best of my knowledge. There you go.
There you go.
Wow. What do you think of that?
You know, especially like Germany, because there's so many different stories that come out of Germany that, you know, about werewolves and shapeshifters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the wolf belts, you know, the belts that they put on, they can turn into, you know, werewolf and things like that.
Yep.
But yeah, they're incredible stories. You know, I wish we could talk to them.
Yeah.
You know.
I know. Well, see, the thing again, there it is again, though. These are stories that, in some manner, even continue to this day. Now, I don't know if people can change into wolves or whatever. I know there's claims out there that they can, like skinwalkers and shamans and shamanistic traditions. There's was it La Lorna? Doesn't she?
La Lorna's Lorna's not a
not La Lorna, but there's another one.
Brujas,
yeah.
Brujas, yeah.
Changing the birds or whatever, yep. Yeah, so I mean there's plenty of references around the world of these people that turn into things,
Right.
and back into people. But there's also dogmen.
Yep.
And dogmen seem to be constantly in that shape and form.
Yeah.
And wolf people or any other number of definitions you have out there. So something has started these stories and something continues these stories to this day.
Oh my.
What is it? Hell, I don't know. I don't know, Don. But
You know, I'm liking this. I'm liking Chucky's idea more and more
what's Chucky's idea?
about making candles, because this one's a good one. Feeling lonely? Light up a BEK pheromone scented candle by Dawn Sense. You'll never be alone again. You know what? My daughter-in-law makes candles.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So I'm going to have
Nice.
to see what we can do.
Right. Yeah. Make up some blends.
Yeah.
Represent the portal. Bring home a sense of the portal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, Chucky.
That is a good idea. Good enterprising ideas, Chucky. Keep them up. We do take submissions of ideas for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't know what the hell we're doing, so we're hoping you guys might.
Or at least help us limp our way there.
We're limping our way there. Yep. That's impossible for a man to turn into a wolf, really.
Well, you know,
the
they
bone
talk
structures
about-
alone are so
Yeah, they talk about, especially when you're talking about the hind legs, the digigrade?
Plantigrade and digigrade, yep.
Plantigrade, yeah. And so, you know, when we were talking to Vic Cundiff, he was talking about how when they were standing up, it would sound like they were popping into place and doing that kind of thing. So
Yeah, that was the apparently in many Dogman stories it talks about them going from quadrupedal to bipedal, and in that transition there's this pop noise of like almost like a big knuckle crack.
Yeah,
and imagine if
joints popping,
it's like the hips might be not double hinged, but like there's two proper positions and it has to pop over some kind of
it's like shifting a gear.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Shifting a gear. Good way to say it. So I think that, that certainly is one. Again, with transformation stories, I don't know what to make of them, but I'm here to tell you these stories are old as time,
Yeah.
and people are seeing something. So what is that? Is it a projection? Is it a psychic imprint? Is it some kind of glamour to make you think you're seeing something you're not? I don't know. But I will tell you that I've seen a lot of strange stuff in my life. And if people could change from one form into a completely different form, I guess it wouldn't surprise me, but it's certainly not something I can intellectualize in any way. I just can't. I'm with you about that unknown, but I still don't think that my understanding or our understanding of physical science is I don't know, is sufficient to explain something like this away. Because I think as we learn about quantum mechanics and things like that, I think a lot of this weirdness maybe will make some more sense. It's just that we're stuck in a very three-dimensional, rigid reality kind of idea about the world around us. But I don't think reality necessarily follows that playbook.
Right.
You
Hey,
know?
guess what time it is?
Time to go. What?
Got to do the drawing.
Oh, the drawing. That's right. I almost forgot.
Oh,
dude.
goodness. Well,
I almost forgot. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we promised that our Discord community, if any of you took the bait and jumped in, did there any new names?
Suckers. No, I stayed up on it.
Okay. So there's no new names in the giveaways?
Nope.
Oh, really? Because I just got some new stuff here.
I already got those.
Oh, you did? Okay. Well, then, yeah, you got them. All right. There you go. So we got those names. All right.
And I
did
have 28. I've got
Universal Love came in, but that's not, they didn't enter, I don't think. But if Universal Love, if you want to enter, we'll give you about a minute to go to the giveaways over here and just say hi in there or something. Click on the giveaways. Oh, shoot. Let me put it up on screen. Click on the giveaways here and then just say hi down here and hit enter. I'll give you like 30 more seconds. If you want to do that, Universal Love, you're welcome to. But otherwise, just, every month we're going to be doing a t-shirt giveaway to our Discord community. So you got that going for you. So, are you counting?
Okay.
Okay. Well, all right. So welcome to the community anyways.
Yeah.
Glad to have you here.
I've got 28 names.
28 names.
Aggravated Progressive, the Batman, Eric the Purple Hobbit, M.E.M., Rick Bull, Mel, Shepherdess, Hacker, Fourth Color, Paradox Fossil, Smokin' Joe, Ash Hermit, John Lloyd Steven, David Zesmer, RJ Valrin.
There's still time to enter.
Artie the Chaos Aardvark. Grumpy Owl, Cryptic Chaos, Toby Phoebe. Rosemary Chives, Colleen Bow. CMB, more of this, more of that. I've got John Lloyd twice, so let's get that one out of there.
Okay.
So do that, and we'll move one up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, come on.
See, there's still time to enter if he's not. And we're not done with the names.
And why isn't it let me do that? Okay, so let's do this.
I did see someone was typing in there too,
Hero.
but it's not coming up.
Delete row. There we go. Arc Blaster, Blonde Lady, Big D, Luna Moonicorn, and John Atude. All right, let's check one more time. And
Puck and someone else is typing.
And Smoke. Oh, yeah, we'll get Smoking Guns in there.
Smoking Guns.
So
all right.
Puck and Smoking Guns.
All right.
All right, so let's get that done. That's it. We're done.
Boom, boom, boom.
All right.
All right. To all the entries. Thank you.
And Smoking Guns. All right, so that gives us 29 names, and I've got this random number generator, a number between 1 and 29. Boop. There we go. That's sexy.
Okay, and Don, the winning number is?
The winning number is 25.
25,
And
that
that
is?
gives us the name of Big D.
Big D.
Big D.
Pull
It's
it
all
in.
about the D.
All right. That's everyone. Congratulations. Congratulations to I can't believe I gotta write this. Big D. The winner of the T-shirt giveaway.
So, Big D, if you're listening, send an email to paranormalportalradio@gmail.com. Let us know your shipping address and T-shirt size.
Yes, or you can message me directly in Discord, but either way.
That's true, yeah.
Yep, you can just right-click my name and message, and you can send me your details. Give me a name and address, the size you want, and Faye just jumped in. Congrats! Oh, that's very nice, Faye. Very cool. All right, so
You know what? It's time.
it is time, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to wrap up our journey for tonight. Next week, we'll give away a T-shirt to our YouTube members. So, hope you guys got your name in the hat. If you're not already a member, please, helps us out a ton as well. So,
When did you add that music
that was
that you just played?
the news.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out a way to get sound because YouTube, Skype doesn't pick up the sounds like YouTube does.
Right.
So I was coming up with a sound. Maybe I could play with it, but it didn't work out at all. So I just
Well, that was a great sound, though.
This one?
Yeah, that's great. Oh, that's the news. Oh, gotcha.
It was gonna be.
That's great.
There you go.
Nice.
All right. So,
Nice.
all right, Big D, you won.
Oh, Hardwick. Oh, gotcha.
There he is, Hardwick, Big D. So, we'll give away a shirt to one of our lucky members on the YouTube channel next week, and so stay tuned for that. You do have to be present to win on that one. So if you're not watching, you're not winning. Just saying. So I will announce which day. It'll probably be next Friday. We'll do that one. So until then, that's going to wrap it up for us. Be sure if you want a T-shirt of your own, you don't want to wait for a giveaway, by all means, head over to Teespring. The link is in the description below, right below in the YouTube description. So by all means, put your name in the hat there. And I'd love to have you walk away with a shirt. Either you win one or you get one on your own. But either way, the more people wearing it, the cooler you look. I'm just saying. So Don, anything in closing?
I still need that Hellhound shirt.
Don's looking for the Hellhound
need it.
shirt.
Yep.
He's dying for the
I gotta
Hellhound
have
shirt.
it. All right.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us, folks. So just remember, we love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day. And remember to laugh as much as you can. I will see you next week, but you'll probably see me before then. So remember, subscribe if you're not, and hit the notifications so you get notified if we do some impromptu live streaming.
Impromptu.
Impromptu for you. All right, guys. Take care. Good night. And until next time.
Good night.